Hey, I want to remind you of something really important today. Tiny steps still count. Keep going. We live in a world that loves to glorify the big stuff, the massive wins, the overnight success, the picture perfect transformations. But let me tell you something that really matters. The little things you do every day that no one sees. The stuff that feels small but takes everything in you to pull off. That's where the real strength is. I know this because I live it. Every morning, I go to work, and before I do, I make myself a cup of coffee. 3 creamers, 2 sugars. That's my routine. It's silly, maybe, but it's mine. It's the one thing that tells my brain, okay, we're getting up. We're doing today. I brush my teeth, I take my meds, I show up, even when I don't want to. I post on TikTok every day. Sometimes it's just a simple thought or a funny moment. Some days I don't feel like posting at all. But I do, not because I'm chasing clout or likes, but because it's part of my routine. A tiny little promise I made myself to keep showing up. I live with bipolar depression, and that means some days are a fight just to function. Some mornings I wake up and feel like there's a weight on my chest. No energy, no motivation, no light, just fog. But here's one thing. I've learned that routine is my lifeline. The coffee, the brushing my teeth, the TikTok posts, the meds, these tiny actions might seem basic to someone, but to me, they're victories. They're proof that I'm still here, still trying, still moving forward, and I want you to know that whatever your tiny steps are, they matter too. Whether it's getting out of bed, making your bed, drinking water, replying to one email, taking a shower, stepping out for 5 minutes, sending that one text you've been putting out, those are all wins. Your healing doesn't have to be loud to be real, and if no one's told you lately, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for doing your best, even when no one sees it, even when you feel like it's not enough, because it is enough. I used to think progress only counted if it was huge. Like if I didn't completely overhaul my life in one go, I wasn't trying hard enough. But that thinking almost broke me. It made me feel like my effort didn't count unless it looked impressive to someone else. Now, I know better. Now I know that the small, consistent things are what change your life. They build momentum. They create safety. They help you trust yourself again. Even taking my meds is a tiny step, but it helps. It keeps me steady. It keeps the extremes from taking over. And yeah, some days I resent that I have to rely on pills to feel okay. But then I remember that's not weakness, that's strength. That's me doing what I need to do to survive. And I'm not ashamed of that anymore. We all have things that ground us, that pull us back to ourselves, and they don't have to be flashy or Instagram worthy. They just have to be yours. So if all you did today was survive, I'm proud of you. If you got up and made coffee, that counts. If you brushed your teeth, that counts. If you took your med, that counts. If you posted something, anything, that counts. Don't let anyone make you feel like your progress is too small to matter. It matters, you matter. And the truth is, these tiny steps add up. One morning turns into a week. One post turns into a streak. One walk turns into momentum. One act of self-care leads to another. And suddenly, you look up and you realize you're not where you used to be. You're stronger. You're more present. You're more at peace. I feel better now. Not because everything's perfect, but because I chose to keep going. Even when it was hard. Even when it felt pointless. Even when no one else saw it. So, keep going. Your tiny steps are building something big, something beautiful. You've got this. Let me give you more real-life context. There were days when the only thing that got me out of bed was knowing I had to get up and make that cup of coffee. 3 creamers, 2 sugars. That's not just a drink, it's my way of telling the day, hey, I'm still here. That tiny routine is a ritual. It's me grounding myself, saying to the chaos in my head, we've got a plan. We're going to do this one moment at a time. Because when you live with bipolar depression, the concept of normal is a moving target. Some days are high, almost too high. Like I feel like I can conquer anything. Other days, the lows, I can barely move. But what's helped me manage all of it is routine, stability, something predictable when my emotions are not. And I want you to understand that I didn't get here overnight. It wasn't like one day I woke up and suddenly had a perfectly built routine. It took trial and error. It took a lot of failing at it, a lot. But I kept trying. I kept reminding myself, if I can just do one thing today, I've won. And I didn't know I was bipolar for the longest time of my life. I had to go through a lot to get to where I am, where I know I have bipolar depression. And then I had to realize that I had to go a different route to fix myself, and that was through medication. Anyways, that's how I started brushing my teeth every single morning without fail. It seems like a small thing, right? But when you're in a depressive episode, even brushing your teeth can feel like climbing a mountain. So I started associating it with something positive. I'd play a favorite song when I brushed. Eventually, it became a habit. Now, I don't even think about it. I just do it. And that consistency makes me feel like I can trust myself again. Same with TikTok. It sounds funny, but posting every day can become an anchor. It gave me a reason to look outward instead of inward, to create instead of overthinking. And sure, not every post is gold, but that's not the point. The point is that I showed up, that I did something even when I didn't feel like it. These aren't huge accomplishments in the world's eyes, but to me, they're milestones. And I want you to see your milestones too. Maybe your version of showing up is washing your face, or drinking water, or texting a friend back, or stepping outside. Whatever it is, it's enough. You don't need to wait until you feel better to start. The healing is in the doing, in showing up before you're ready, in taking care of yourself even when it feels like you're just going through the motions. Because eventually, those motions create momentum. Eventually, those tiny actions start to rebuild you. And let me be honest, there are still hard days. Days I doubt myself. Days I forget why I'm doing any of this. But when I feel lost, I come back to the basics. The tiny steps, the stuff I know I can do. Because even on my darkest days, I still know how to make coffee. Even when everything else is falling apart, I still know how to brush my teeth. Even when my thoughts feel too heavy to manage, I still know how to open the TikTok app and post something, anything. Even when I'm tired of it all, I still take my meds. And those tiny steps keep me from giving up. They build a foundation, one that's stable and familiar and mine. And over time, they brought me peace. I'm not saying life is easy now, but I am saying it's better, more manageable, more calm. And I owe that to the small things, not the big transformations. So, if you're watching this and you're waiting for a sign to keep going, this is it. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be impressive. You just have to keep taking those tiny steps. Every one of them matters. And I promise you, if you keep going, you'll look back one day and realize how far you've come. So don't stop. You're doing amazing, even if it doesn't feel like it. Tiny steps still count. They always have. They always will. Keep going. You've got this. And maybe the biggest lesson I've learned from all of this is that healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's all about returning to yourself. Slowly, gently, with compassion. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're living. You're learning. You're growing in the most human way possible. I used to think I had to prove something, that I had to fix everything at once to be okay. But now I know being okay starts with the little things. The everyday rituals, the quiet consistency, my cup of coffee with 3 creamers and 2 sugars, my meds, brushing my teeth, a TikTok, that's my rhythm. That's my survival. That's my peace. So what's yours? Find it, honor it, build your life around it. Any steps are still steps, and they can take you somewhere beautiful if you just keep going. I believe in you, you're stronger than you think, and if no one else says it today, I'm proud of you. Let's keep going together one tiny step at a time. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. My one dream is to one day reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, so it would really help me out if you subscribe. And if you like my content and want to support me further, please consider checking out my Patreon, where I post all this content ahead of time and I make some exclusives that nobody has ever seen before. So check it out. But yeah, thank you. Subscribe, watch my other videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.